Finally, this hour, if you were in Grand Central today, you could not miss a new exhibit that is there. It's an art installation called Dear New York. There are more than 150 digital screens showcasing thousands of portraits and stories of New Yorkers. Joining me now to talk about this, Brandon Stanton. He is the writer, photographer, and creator of the wildly popular Humans of New York. Thank you so much for coming in and talking about this.
Thank you for having me.
And let's start with what I just mentioned, this really first of its kind exhibition right now in Grand Central that'll be there for 2 weeks.
Right, so for the next 2 weeks, Grand Central Station will essentially be completely transformed into just a celebration of the humanity of the city. You know, I've interviewed 10,000 people in New York. New York to me is the people. Nowhere in the world are there more types of people packed in a smaller place than New York City. And I wanted to celebrate that. And so it's a completely complex-wide installation, 150 digital screens, both layers of the subway station, an exhibit in Vanderbilt Hall with 600 school children. It's very much a celebration of people.
I mean, 10,000 people, just pause on that for a minute. When the Washington Post called you and your work one of the most influential art projects of the decade. You launched a decade ago. Could you have envisioned now millions and millions of followers and the impact that you've been able to have with your work?
Yeah, well, you know, it all started very humbly, and I just came to New York. I wanted to be, it was before social media, I wanted to be an artist, and then, yeah, things got very, very big. But, you know, I always stayed focused on the purity and the core mission, which is just to tell the stories of average people. And that's what I've been doing over the past 15 years. And so here at the end of 15 years, I had this massive collection of every type of New Yorker. And I said I could just about recreate the city of New York in a single place. And that's why I chose Grand Central.
And what's it like for you to walk through Grand Central today and to see your work all over the place?
You know, when I started down this journey, you know, I found out it was possible to possibly, you know, the MTA has been on board and to make art in all of Grand Central. I was very excited, and I thought it was going to be the most fun I could possibly have. It's very stressful. So many approvals and so many permissions but I'm trying to now finally allow myself levity and to kind of take it all in. It's a team of 100 people. They did such a beautiful job. So it is beautiful, and that is the one thing I wanted it to be more than anything else.
And it comes alongside a new book that you've written numerous books, but this new one comes out tomorrow, Dear New York. Tell us about this and what you're conveying in this piece.
So Dear New York was my love letter to the city. It was, I took 2 years and I covered every inch of this city and photographing and interviewing every type of person. And, you know, in the course of that, I created what I thought was the definitive portrait of this city that I was able to create with all my talents and all my skills. And that book was really the inspiration for what's going on in Grand Central right now. Not only do they have the same core and the same spirit, but the book is what is funding Grand Central. All of the money that I received for the book is what I use to stage Grand Central, and anything that I make over that's going to go to New York City charities. So it's designed to be an artistic and a financial gift to the city.
You know, you say that it's the portrait of New York, and you've interviewed so many thousands of people and taken thousands of portraits. What is it about New Yorkers that speaks to you? And is there a commonality among all those?
No, there's not, but that's the beauty of it, you know? It's like, what I love about this city so much is that the entire world is here, and we're all just crushed together in the same sidewalks and in the same subway cars. But despite these differences, and despite annoying the heck out of each other, which we do, we make it work. And there is something very hopeful in that to me for all of humanity, that if in this city everybody can be pressed together and figure out a way to make it work, even though the world seems so dark right now and seems to be teetering on edge, I think New York City represents a hope for humanity as a whole, because New York City is humanity as a whole. And that is what I'm trying to celebrate in both the book Dear New York and what's going on at Grand Central these next 2 weeks.
It's such a vital celebration, to your point, especially right now. And along with not only doing this in New York, doing it all over the world. I know you've profiled many people, for example, now in Gaza. You've also raised funds for people all over the world. Sort of what's your message when you look at the overarching theme, not only how you were saying it exists here in New York, but also globally right now?
Yeah. Well, the message, you know, I think one thing I try to do, and maybe what makes Humans of New York so different, is that I do not try to have a message, and I do not try to have a motive, and I try to disappear and kind of channel somebody else's lived experience and somebody else's story. And I think maybe what made the Gaza series so interesting is I did this in partnership with Doctors Without Borders, and I interviewed their Palestinian staff. But when I interviewed them, I didn't ask them specifically about the siege or the genocide or any of those things. I just asked them about their lives, and all these things kind of came out organically. It's the same process I have with everybody. I don't ask them about their opinions, their beliefs, their politics. I never go in with an angle or a motive. I sit there and I listen, and I try to understand what it is to be this person, and then I try to portray it. And I think that's the spirit and the crux of my work.
Yeah, which is what makes those stories so powerful. So grateful, Brandon Stanton, for your coming on. Congratulations on the exhibition.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the book. We all appreciate the work that you do
Thank
very
you so
much.
much, Jonica.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. For more stories in your communities, click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV for the latest news and weather updates every 10 minutes and more. We'll see you then.